your Baltimore Orioles.
And there's the big swing.
On Messenger.
He got every stitch of that one.
And streaming live on the Messenger app.
The birds are flying high.
It all starts right now.
Saturday afternoon in the nation's capital as the Orioles and Nats get set for game 2 of 3 here. The Beltway Series continues on from Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. We are here on Armed Forces Day here in our nation's capital, and today's military salute on Armed Forces Day brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union and by Thundercat Technologies. Celebrating Armed Forces Day this 3rd Saturday in May, a day of observance where we thank and honor all of our current members of the United States Armed Forces for their service and dedication to our nation. We say thank you for protecting our country here from its capital city. And we are ready to bring you baseball on this Armed Forces Day. Kevin Brown, Ben McDonald. Orioles looking for a win after a tough setback. 3-2 yesterday, a tight game won by the Nats, and they'll hope that Chris Bassett can lead the way to a series-even victory.
Yeah, and the good news, Chris Bassett's been pretty good lately. 4 of his last 6 starts, 1 earned run or less, or I should say 4 of his last appearances, because his last time out, he was in a follower's role. Keegan Aiken got the first inning, and Bassett came in, and he worked the next 6 innings. And I tell you what, remember the first 3 batters got base hits, and he gave up 1 run early. Then he went 5 2/3 of just shutout baseball. The key for me for him, KB, is throwing a lot of strikes, and he was able to land the breaking ball. When he's landing that breaking ball, because of the speed difference, it's a difference maker for him. And I thought the cutter and his curveball were outstanding the last time out.
He's going to face Cade Cavalli and the Nationals. Lefties have crushed Cavalli. The Orioles have some big ones in the lineup. We'll get first pitch between the O's and Nats coming up next.
Info.
Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. By Future Care, Baltimore's home team for short stay rehabilitation for 40 years. And by Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast. Nationals Park on a Saturday afternoon, and here is the Orioles starting 9. Gunnar Henderson leads the way for the Birds, 20-25, 16th of 30 teams in the big leagues at 4.3 runs per game. The Orioles yesterday scored 2 in the 9th to avoid their first shutout of the year, left the bases loaded, and they left 10 in that game despite a whole lot of base runners. Pete Alonso was 0 for 4. We'll look to get back on track at a ballpark where he's hit more home runs than anywhere but Citi Field and Miami's Lone Depot Park. Lineup's going to face Cade Cavalli, the 27-year-old in his 3rd big league season. Ben making his 10th start of the year, and he's been better of late as well.
Yeah, last time out against the Marlins, 5 2/3, 2 earned runs, only walked 1 and struck out 4 on the year. Missed a lot of time in 23, 24, and in 25. Only threw 48 innings during that 3-year span because of Tommy John surgery. This is StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. We take a look at Cavalli's pitch arsenal. 4-seam fastball and sinker lead the way. It's 50% fastballs, then the knuckle curve, the sweeper, and the changeup. Fastballs have been hit pretty hard this year, but the all-speed stuff, the knuckle curve, sweeper, and changeup have been real pitches for him.
Well, the Orioles 20-25. The Nats are 22-23. Once again, there are some major pockets of orange here at Nationals Park. Another good crowd on hand for Alex Ovechkin bobblehead. And the managerial matchup of 2 very close friends, Blake Butera and Craig Albernez. Blake Butera's Nats took the first one 3-2 last night. Orioles looking to even the series with the Nats in their City Connect uniforms on a Saturday afternoon. Away we go as Gunnar Henderson swings at a first pitch fastball and misses it for strike 1 at 4:06.
Well, let's hope Gunnar Henderson can build on what was a good night last night for him. 2 for 5 and an RBI.
It is 83 degrees at first pitch today as Henderson pops up a breaking ball into shallow left. Dalen Lyle will make a routine play. So Gunnar, who flied out to left on the first pitch yesterday, flies out, or to center on the first pitch yesterday, flies out to left on the second pitch today. And now it'll be the uber patient Taylor Ward, who worked his major league leading 43rd walk, also had a base hit last night, so on base 2 out of 5 times. Cavalli to Ward. First pitch is up very high and out of the glove of Ruiz.
Well, I tell you, the pitching and the defense the last 7 or 8 games have been solid for the Orioles. Matter of fact, it's been better than solid. The offense trying to catch up to that pitching and defense. The offense only averaging 3 runs per game over their last 7.
It's been a 1 step forward, 1 step back kind of stretch for the Orioles, who scored 7 in the finale against the Yankees, and then after day off, just 2 yesterday. Greg Albertaz's team had scored 3 runs or less 6 in a row after they put up 9 and 7 against Miami. 1-1 to Ward, and Taylor takes somewhere around the outside. 98. Called a strike by Chris Conner, the crew chief, and he was just ever so slightly right about that. It's 1-2.
That's about where that fastball is going to max out for Cavalli right there. 98.
'27-year-old Cade Cavalli, 6'4", 223. Here's the umpiring crew that will call his game today. Cade Cavalli with crew chief Chris Conroy behind the mound. Ward with a line drive laced to right center field. That will drop in front of Jacob Young. It's a base hit for Ward, and he's reached now 3 out of 6 plate appearances in the series.
Boy, he loves to hit the ball to the backside of the field. They're pitching him away, and he is hitting bullets to the backside of the field.
That's time for our O's for Outcomes, presented by T. Rowe Price, the exclusive investment and wealth management partner of the Baltimore Orioles. Better questions, better outcomes. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. All right, there's a reason we're saying something obvious. Keep Nats under 500. The Nationals have had 15 chances to reach 500 with a win since May of 2024. This is staggering. They're 0-15 in those games. Now, that's not counting the start of the year, where you start the year at 500. The Nats won their opening game, lost the next one, won the next 2, so they were 3-1. They lost 3 in a row to get to 3-4 and had a chance to get to 500, and they lost that. So 15 straight times when the Nats have been 1 game under 500, they have lost to fall 2 under 500. And they come into today at 22-23. I don't know what you say about it other than that's just weird. It kind of symbolizes the never-ending rebuild the Nationals have been in now, though, since they won the World Series in 2019. And they hope that with this new staff, they are finally a team with a direction. Upper curve strike for Adley, and it's 1-1.
Well, they certainly had a lot of expectations last year, and it didn't work out. They are off to a wonderful start from an offensive standpoint anyway. And you look at where they are. 1 game under 500, tied with the Phillies for 2nd place in the National League East.
That's an inside corner strike 2 to Rutschman on the 2-seamer. That's off a 71-91 year, getting great season so far. C.J. Abrams, James Wood, 25-year-old Abrams, 23-year-old Wood. A couple of players who were originally San Diego Padres and came over in the Juan Soto deal 4 years ago. There's a 2-strike pitch from Cavalli to Rutschman. Adley could not hold up, according to John Tumpain. So
that was almost identical as the game ended last night. A backdoor breaking ball.
For whatever reason, his games in this ballpark, he has severely struggled to hit. That is the called 3rd strike. Adley's now 6 for 41 in his career at this park. 2 away. Here's Pete Alonso, who also had a tough night yesterday, going 0 for 4. And Alonso drills the first pitch on the ground up the middle for a base hit. Wasting no time, Alonso has his first hit of the series, and the Orioles have 2 on with 2 out in the first.
I love it. The Orioles will threaten here in their first at bat too. A runner in scoring position last night, 1 for 6. That went off the bat at 107 by the Polar Bear.
Here's our Bet365 player prop spotlight. Bet365, where winning is everything. It's over 1.5 total bases for Samuel Basallo. It's 2 singles or any extra base hit. Yesterday, Sammy had a hit and a walk at 4 plate appearances. Basayo takes a first pitch breaking ball for strike 1. Basayo has been maybe the hottest Oriole hitter. He's DHing again today with Adley Rutschman behind the plate. Currently on an 8-game hit streak, over which he's 12 for 28 with 4 doubles and a triple. Up and away for Basayo, and it's 1-1.
And Cavalli, he wants to get you out with the off-speed stuff. He's going to show you the fastball in these big moments with runners in score position, but he's going to go to that spin to try to get you out. That knuckle curveball, 15 of his 44 strikeouts have come on the knuckle curve, and it's got a big swing and miss so far this year, 46%.
Ward and Alonso, the base runners. As Basayo takes the sweeper high. Well, left-handers have absolutely obliterated Cade Cavalli's fastballs in particular. Lefties are hitting him extremely hard overall, but on the 4 and the 2-seam fastballs, he's getting crushed. Basayo gets a changeup at his waistline. Here's the largest gap, OPS, that's on base plus slugging from lefties to righties. Lefties in 935 OPS are hitting 371. Righties of 510 OPS hitting 178. 5th largest gap in baseball.
But Craig Albert is not buying into those numbers, is he? You got 5 right-handed hitters in the lineup.
He leaves a lefty on the bench, Colton Cowser. Maybe because he thinks Tyler O'Neill is getting closer and closer with his everyday playing time, and O'Neill is on deck. 3-2 here. Basayo with Ward at second and Alonso at first. We'll wait. Orioles tied for 24th in the majors in first inning scoring this year. Yesterday they went down in order on 9 pitches. They're threatening today, but they threaten no more. They strand 2 in the first inning, and Chris Bassett will take the Nats Park mound next. Washington Nationals still second in the majors in runs per game at 5.3 per game. They're tied for 5th in steals and 5th in slugging percentage. They've got James Wood and C.J. Abrams having wonderful years, but Dalen Lyle's been as hot as anybody. Drove in all 3 last night. Chris Bassett's going to face 8 straight lefties, looking to build off a good outing against the Athletics. And James Wood pops his first pitch up into shallow center field. 1 pitch for Bassett, and out on a cutter.
Let's take a look at the Oriole defense. Brought to you by Car Shield. Left to right in the outfield, Ward, Tavares and O'Neill, Henderson and Jeremiah Jackson, your double play combination. Kobe Mayo back over at third, to Polar Bear at first, and Adley Rutschman back behind home plate for the Orioles.
Orioles played a clean defensive game last night. A couple of good plays by Tyler O'Neill in right, couple of good plays by Kobe Mayo at third. Luis Garcia Jr., Nats number 2 hitter, takes ball 1. And Garcia with a ground ball to second base here. Chris Bassett gets his first 2 outs on his first 3 pitches.
Yeah, look, the beginning of the games have been rough for Bassett too. You look at the ERA in the first inning, 6.5. The ERA in the second inning, over 11. So if he can somehow navigate through these first couple innings and stack zeros, he can be off and moving for a while. We mentioned earlier, 4 of his last 6 appearances have been 1 earned run or less, and certainly his last time out was his best outing of the year.
Jose Tena, third baseman, 25-year-old, takes down and away. First appearance of the year, third for Tena. That super utility man who's had a super season at the plate, slugging .455, and he's batting third today after a day off last night. Tena swings and misses with a big looping curveball. It's been a season where that curveball's been pretty consistently there for Chris, maybe with the exception of his Miami start 2 outings ago.
He needs it. That's the difference maker for him, because that's how he keeps the hitters off balance. It's not a high velocity fastball, 90 to 93, but it's about 20, 21 miles an hour difference between that slow curveball and that fastball.
Well, let's take a look at our working on a win presented by the Home Depot. The curveball, a career high usage of 25%. That's up 9% from last year. Highest cutter usage since 2020. And his highest cutter usage to lefties. Important today because the first 8 batters will hit left-handed for Washington. How do you expect him to attack today based on those numbers and based on what he did last start?
Well, I mean, the curveball was so good and the cutter was so good the last time out. I think he sticks with those because he too, like Cavalli, the fastball's been hit hard. I mean, they're hit 391 on the 2-seamer, 500 off of Bassett on that 4-seam fastball. So I think he's going to bend a lot of balls in there.
This with a backdoor curveball, 3-2 for 10 out. C.J. Abrams on deck. Cutter usage was the highest in about a year for Chris Bassett last time out. Looking for a quick first inning. His 3-2. Here's a ground ball to second, gobbled up by Jeremiah Jackson in a smooth play. Ends a 9-pitch inning. 1-2-3 go the Nats. 1-2 and 3 against Bassett.
Orioles.
The lottery's fast play contestant of the game is Jerome Williams from East Newmarket, Maryland. Jerome's won $500 for being selected, $500 more for every Orioles home run, and $5,000 for each Joe's Grand Slam. Hit today. Learn how to be the fast play contestant of the game at mdlottery.com/home run. Orioles did not homer last night. They're tied for 16th in the majors at 44 long balls. A lot of home runs in May. Time to get the long ball going. Tyler O'Neill had a couple of long flyouts yesterday, and he swings and fouls the first pitch away. O'Neill is playing for a 5th consecutive game for the Orioles. 1 for 11 since the start of the Yankee series, but 4 walks, 1 hit, RBI double. Talked to Craig Albernez today. He said he does feel like O'Neill is getting closer and closer with some of the swings. And he said what I like about Tyler right now is the walk rate, very high walk rate. 12 walks in 25 games, on base percentage .316 despite the .169 average. So they feel like his swing decisions have been good. As O'Neill bounces this ball out of play for strike 2.
Well, for a position player, all you can hope for is consistent reps, right? To get in there just about every day. Tyler O'Neill's getting that opportunity now.
His 2nd season of a 3-year deal with the Orioles. 1-2 from Cade Cavalli, and that's fouled away. So O'Neill, Leody Taveras, and Kobe Mayo here. The Orioles 6, 7, and 8 against the 22nd pick in the 2020 draft. Cade Cavalli.
Out of Oklahoma, huh? University of Oklahoma.
Born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, went to Bixby High School in Bixby, Oklahoma, and then was a Sooner. A lot of baseball history at University of Oklahoma. Cade Horton, who was the Cubs' 1st-round pick a couple of years ago, was a Sooner. Bobby Witt Sr., John Gray, Jason Bartlett, among some of the other Oklahoma draft picks of all time. Sooners a few years ago made the College World Series championship, as you know, lost to Ole Miss. I believe those were a couple of unseeded teams in the World Series final that year.
Ole Miss was the last team to get in that year. I remember that. And somehow made an incredible run all the way to the College World Series title.
O'Neill punches one out to shallow right field, 1 away. Regional start in is 2 weeks for college baseball.
Yes,
softball regional started this week.
Right, this is the final weekend of regular season play, and then you'll get the conference tournaments next weekend, and then regional play will begin a couple of weekends away.
Team to beat right now?
UCLA. They have been #1 preseason, and they continue to be #1. Rock Chalowski, their shortstop, expected to be the 1st pick in the draft.
But no matter how good he is, he'll always be our 2nd favorite, Rock.
That's right.
And he does spell his name like our Rock Cabaco, R-O-C-H. Here's Leody Taveras. Swings at a breaking ball and just gets a piece of the ball and of Keibert Ruiz for strike 2. Well, Cavalli, you mentioned the Tommy John surgery he had. Made his big league debut 2022. 1 start. Took him 3 years to get back here. 10 starts a year ago. This is 10th of this season.
Yeah, this is only his 21st start of his career at 27 years old.
2-strike pitch, a little tapper over the mound, and Abrams can't grab it right at the second base bat.
Well, he had to come hard, did Abrams, because he was worried about that ball hitting the bag and popping gosh knows where, so he comes hard. We talked about the Nationals last night. They have had a little bit of problem on defense this year. When you look at fielding percentage, they are dead last in baseball. See, he wants to get to that ball right before it hits the bag. Good thing he did, because it could have kicked anywhere. It looked like it got in his glove and just popped out.
And that scored an infield hit for Taveras. 1-on-1 out for Kobe Mayo as Cavalli throws Leody back to the bag. Taveras into the game with a .356 on base percentage. That number goes up. It's 26th hit of the year. Kobe got on twice more yesterday. And takes a high sweeper for a strike. Mayo was 3 for 8, 2 walks, a homer, and 4 RBIs in a series against the Yankees. Yesterday, 1 for 3. He did strike out twice, once with the bases loaded in the ninth. He had the hardest hit ball of his career on a single. He was also hit by a pitch. There are 2 throws over now by Cavalli. So let's see if Taveras extends his lead.
Taveras does have 2 stolen bases on the year.
Our Xfinity Power Connections, the Orioles had a couple of career high exit velocities last night. Mayo and then Jeremiah Jackson on the double. Gunnar Henderson smoked the double as well. There's a lot of talk about exit velocity because we heard from Matt Wyrick of the Baltimore Sun. It was the Orioles' highest average exit velocity in the StatCast era. Of course, it was in a game where they only scored 2 runs and got 6 hits. And there is some nuance to this topic. It's not a topic where one number tells the whole story. The Orioles hit a lot of balls hard. In terms of a hard hit ball is something 95 miles per hour or up. That's considered the ratio at which batting average really jumps. You go about 490 is the batting average on hard hit balls. But they hit a lot of balls just above 95 and not launched terribly well. So a lot of warning track flyouts and long fly ball outs. There goes Taveras, and he is safe with a foot first slide. So he picks up his 3rd steal.
And Ruiz came out of there quick. That ball could have been called a strike, I felt like. Keibert Ruiz, he jumped up quickly when he saw Taveras. Watch how quick he comes up right there. He might have stole what could have been a strike. Ends up being a ball. Taveras foot first in the second base.
That ball was outside the ABS zone, but was called a strike by Chris Conway. So it's 1-2 for Mayo, who powers this ball into left field. That's a sharp single. Another ball hit so hard it cannot score a runner, as Taveras has to pump the brakes at 3rd. But Kobe Mayo, in a 2-strike count against a tough right-hander, torches another baseball, and the Orioles have men at the corners.
Yeah, he took advantage of a mistake here. Looked like a sweeper trying to get it to the outside part of the plate. It stayed up and it stayed in right where Kobe Mayo likes it, and a bullet out to left field. Taveras had to check just for a second with 1 out, but a great opportunity for the Orioles here in the 2nd inning with 1st and 3rd and only 1 out.
Jeremiah Jackson, the Orioles' RBI leader with 25. Jackson takes a running 2-seamer too tall.
Jeremiah 1 for 3 last night. Did drive in a run.
And a sac fly in the 9th, though it was the 2nd out of the 9th inning with the Orioles down 3-0 at the time. That double in the 7th inning. And Jackson grounds the ball down to 3rd. Tenna goes across the way to 2nd. and it's a double play to end the inning. The Orioles get runners at first and third and can't bring it home.
Past.
You can stream Massive Plus this season on iOS and Android mobile devices, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. Don't miss a pitch. Massive Plus monthly subscriptions are available for only $19.99 a month. Scan the QR code or go to massivesports.com today. Jeremiah Jackson grounds into a double play. That's the 8th double play Jeremiah has grounded into this year. And the Orioles did not score despite getting runners at first and third with one out in the second. Here's Bassett pitching to C.J. Abrams in the bottom of the inning, and Abrams knocks the first pitch out of play.
Well, Abrams has been on a heater as of late, man. His last 15 games, he's hit .333, 8 extra base hits, and driven in 15 runs during that time. Look at the OPS, 968 over his last 15.
This ball is sizzled fair off the chalk. It hits the little jut out of the sidewall in right field. It'll be an easy double for C.J. Abrams.
Well, that's what the Nationals do, KB. I mean, they lead all of Major League Baseball in doubles. Abrams' 9th double this season. Matter of fact, if you talk about extra base hits, they have the 4th most extra base hits in baseball, do the Nationals. They are only behind the Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Braves have more extra base hits than what the Nationals do.
Well, the Nats have hit everything hard so far, and they finally get a hit. Here's a bunt shown by Dalen Lyle. Not likely that Lyle, who has 19 extra base hits, would be bunting to set up Nasim Nunez, who has 2.
You
but
would
he's
think.
at least going to draw Kobe Mayo in.
For a guy that's hit 4 home runs in the last 4 games and also has been on a heater.
Drove in all 3 yesterday, or I should say scored or singled to set up the first RBI. I beg your pardon. Brady House followed the sac fly, then the 2-run homer. He had 3 hits in the game. Look at what he had done in the previous 14 games, then the last 5, playing in front of a lot of friends and family who are from Louisville when the Nats were in Cincinnati. He put on a show. Had a 2-homer game and a game-winning home run in the 10th inning. And the eventual game-winning 2-run homer yesterday. 2-0 for Lyle here. He takes a 4-seamer for a strike. Dalen yesterday had a double on the first pitch, a single on the first pitch, and a homer on the second pitch. Grounded out his final time on the 3rd pitch. So this is already his longest at-bat of the series. And Lyle swings and misses at a tight cutter.
Little east-west game right there. Fastball on the outside part, cutter in.
Lyle with 16 walks, 34 strikeouts in 44 games. And he'll fight off a breaking ball here into shallow right center. O'Neill was pretty deep. He makes an early call and makes the catch. And the threat of his arm keeps C.J. Abrams at second, and he'll stay there after Gunnar Henderson retrieves a low throw. So good job by Bassett getting the first out and not letting Abrams advance to third for Nasim Nunez.
The Nationals have won 6 of their last 9 games and trying to win their 5th series out of their last 7 series. And it's been no joke. I mean, you look what they've done, man. 14 wins for the Nationals against teams 500 or above. That leads Major League Baseball.
Here's Nunez, who leads Major League Baseball in stolen bases. He's only hitting .202. He's only slugging .226. But .290 with runners in scoring position. Gets on base at a decent clip, and when he gets on first, he rarely hangs around. 2-0 for Nunez. He has 18 steals, tied for the major league lead, and he is worth 3 base running runs, according to Baseball Savant, for a very aggressive Nationals team.
Yeah, 5th most stolen bases is a big part of their offense. 2nd best offense in the game.
Swing and a miss by Nunez. Good two-seamer from Chris Bassett.
The Nats have played 29 games against teams 500 or above. So they have the toughest strength of schedule so far in Major League Baseball.
Pretty amazing.
It really is.
22 and 23 with this young of a team.
That kind of competition.
Cutter did not clip the top of the strike zone. Good no call by Chris Conroy. It's 3-1 to Nunez. Everybody in this lineup between 22 and 27 years old, Washington, or 23 and 27, should say. And Nunez, 25-year-old, takes a walk. Well, he can't steal second now, but he is at first, and the Nats have 2 on 1 out for Keibert Ruiz. Ruiz is off to an exceptionally slow start, hitting .207 with a .224 on base percentage, but he does have pretty good numbers against the Orioles career. Slow breaking ball falls in for a strike. Ruiz hitting .306 against the Orioles.
Bassett hunting him a ground ball right here.
This might be the guy to do it against. Ruiz has grounded into 4 double plays, second most on the team. That is a fly ball. Wallop to right, down the line it goes. O'Neill will jump, and it's into the bullpen for a 3-run homer. Keibert Ruiz hits his 4th home run of the season, and the Nationals in one big swing take a 3-0 lead off Chris Bassett.
Well, we talked about their extra base hits. That's their 54th home run of the year. This Nats offense is for real. And boy, they've come a long way from last year. Last year, 4.2 runs per game. You look at this pitch from Bassett. Looked like an elevated cutter. Just kind of spun up and in. He did a nice job getting the hands in tight to the body. Did Ruiz for a 3-run home run.
His 4th of the season. And rather slow starting Ruiz has put the Nats up 3 as he continues to pick up hits against the Orioles. 1-1 for Jorby Bibas. Everything the Nats have hit except for the Dalen Lyle flyout, they've hit it over 100 miles per hour. Ruiz is off the bat at 106. These have been much better swings against Chris Bassett than pretty much any of the innings we saw to start against the A's. And look, for Chris, no extra base hits allowed to righties all year. He's allowed 10. They've all come to lefties. So this will be a tough lineup to navigate for him with 8 consecutive left-handed hitters.
Yeah, lefties came in hitting, what, 349 off of Bassett this year.
Fouled away by Bibas. The only right-handed hitter is the on-deck man, Jacob Young. There are 3 right-handers and a switch hitter on Blake Gutierrez's bench. Sixth pitch to the rookie Bibas. That is up and in. Here's a 3-2. Got him swinging at a running two-seamer. The first strikeout for Bassett today.
Just elevates his two-seamer. He does this on purpose from time to time. You'd think sinker. A lot of times you'd think down in the strike zone, but Chris Bassett will take the two-seamer and go just above the top of the zone.
Here's Jacob Young. Well, the Nats have done something today they've never done against Chris Bassitt. That score a run. 3 career starts against the Nationals. Bassitt 3-0, 21 scoreless innings with only 3 walks. Not faced the Nats since 2023 when he threw 8 scoreless against Washington with Toronto. 2 starts in this ballpark, 13 scoreless innings, 12 strikeouts, 2 walks, and that is snapped. An Abrams double, a Nunez walk, and a Ruiz 3-run homer. 0-2 for Young. Great defensive center fielder. There are your lefty-righty splits. Kind of an empty 275 for righties against him. No extra base hits, 4 walks. This was coming into the game. There's a strikeout of Young, so Bassitt gets his first 2 Ks, but Barrett Ruiz gets the first 3 runs. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything, and by American Standard Air. Find your local independent American Standard Air dealer at MidAtlanticComfort.com. Those have 4 hits but have stranded 3. They're down 3-0 in a Barrett Ruiz home run. Nationals have not left a batter. They get 3 runners on the second, all scored. The Orioles left 2 in the first, then grounded into double play in the second. There's a lot of traffic against Cade Cavalli. They have 2 hits in each of the first 2 innings. And Gunnar Henderson will start the second time through the order against Cavalli. Second time through, batters have really teed off on the Nationals right-hander. Gunnar fouls this ball away. It's 0-2. Henderson got his average of 202 yesterday. Still in a bit of a prolonged struggle here. 2 for his last 18. Did have a double and an RBI single last night, though. 2 good at bats, and was 5 at the top. That's a pitch he's really been chasing. Tons of strikeouts down and out of the zone this year.
Yeah, the chase rate for Gunnar Henderson has gone up each of the last 3 years. 24 to 25 to this year. It continues to climb.
And he's down looking at a changeup. 3rd strikeout for Cade Cavalli. Henderson's 0 for 2.
Trying to get it to the outside part of the play, but the changeup ends up down and in, because you can see where Ruiz sets up. Ruiz sets up on the outside part of the plate. That is a big miss. That's about a 17-inch miss right there, but it paints it perfectly on the inside part.
Now for Taylor Ward, a 98-mile-per-hour strike right around the corner. Cavalli has retired the leadoff man of every inning. The next batter in the first and second inning, Ward got a single, and Tavares got a single. About by pitch type this year, run value for Cavalli. The changeup has been his best pitch. The league is 1 for 16 on it, and it's his least thrown. Now it is his 3rd most thrown to lefties. He doesn't throw it almost ever to righties, but you saw in that last pitch, been some very good run.
Yep. It's almost like he's starting that changeup off the outside edge and just kind of gently working it back against the right-handers.
And he did just throw it to a righty, Ward. He throws it 2% to righties, and then 99s him up and in. That's a pretty dominant sequence by Cavalli, who struck out 4.
Well, Cavalli came in with more strikeouts than innings pitched. 44 strikeouts versus 40 1/3 when this game began.
One of the most runny changeups in a good way in baseball. There's a sweeper strike to Adley Rutschman. Cavalli had back-to-back 10 strikeout games, April 23rd and 29th against Atlanta and at the Mets. Rutschman on the ground to second base, and it's a shutdown inning for Cade Cavalli. 10 pitches against the Orioles' top 3. This Armed Forces Day, and during America's 250th year, baseball salutes our service members and their families. To help serve those who serve us, visit MLBtogether.com. Third Saturday in May, May 16th, 2026. We're here in Washington, D.C., where the Nats lead the Orioles 3-0. And James Wood will bat for a second time.
Well, time for Chris Bassitt to go to work. He needs to stack some zeros so the Orioles can climb right back in this one.
First time through the order, Bassitt gave up a double, a home run, and a walk, struck out 2. 6+ innings, 1 run or less in 2 of his last 3. Obviously, that will not happen tonight. Wood foul tips two-seamer for strike 1.
Talked to Chris yesterday. He said he's really been feeling better. Maybe the last 4 starts a little bit better with every ensuing start. And he said, I know the Miami start didn't look like it. Only 4 innings, 4 runs.
Wood sprays the ball the other way. That is just flicked out to the bullpen off the top of the wall. It's in play. James Wood comes maybe millimeters from a home run, and there are not many people in the world who can take that kind of little flick swing and hit it that far.
Well, there's one on each one of these teams. Basayo can do that, but you're right, and Wood can do it too. Watch where this ball lands. It lands right on the point. That ball goes another ½ inch and just hops right over the wall, but instead the Orioles catch a break. But back-to-back at leadoff doubles. Abrams led off the second with a double, and now Wood leads off the third with a double.
Almost added to that list. Most home runs to the opposite field are straight away. Garcia will try to move him over. James Wood has torched the Orioles, and he's torched a lot of teams in his young career. Now 15 out of 37 against the Orioles in 10 games. It's .405 average with 4 doubles, 2 homers, and 4 walks in those 10 games.
And just 23 years old.
0-2 for Garcia. .6'6", left-handed slugger. Was a second-round pick by the Padres 5 years ago out of IMG Academy. Grew up in Maryland. Popped up by Garcia behind third. Kobe Mayo drifts out into foul territory and reels it in. So Bassitt gets a pop out, and that holds Wood at second with 1 away.
Exactly how the second inning started. Leadoff double by Abrams, and then Lau popped out.
Now the third batter of the second inning, Nunez walked, so Bassitt will try to avoid that fate here against Tenna. The hardest hit ball of his big league career on a ground out to second. The first pitch curveball from Chris. It's his career high curveball usage this year. He threw it very infrequently 5 years ago. It's gone a little steadily up since then. There's another hook, and it's 0-2. And this year, in a year where his fastballs have been hit hard, he has really spun the curveball well most starts. Runs it inside 1-2.
Well, that's the only way to get them off your fastball, is to throw enough off-speed pitches where they start thinking about the off-speed pitch.
No swings and misses on a curveball. Third most of his career last time out. Saw an 8 from earlier this year as well. There's another one to Tenna. So slow, fast, and then back to slow. .226 start, 241st game of Chris Bassitt's 12-year big league career. There's 2-2 for Tenna. There's a breaking ball rolled over to Pete Alonso at first. Pete will take it himself.
Wood to third, but there are 2 away. Chris talked about something you'll hear some pitchers say, Benny. Felt like his lanes have been good the last few starts. What does it mean when you hear a pitcher talk about landing in the right lanes?
Well, he could be talking about 2 things. One, the lane is the throwing lane of the ball coming out of the same one. The other one is his lane towards home plate, meaning when he goes down the slope, he is stepping straight toward the glove where pitchers want to be. Not falling off means he's balanced over the top of the rubber and balanced once he lets the ball go.
Said he was working on some things mechanically early in the year. He felt like led to some of his struggles. We've seen his arm angle dip a little bit at times.
We've seen him get east to west a lot too. He pulls that front shoulder off the target a little bit early.
.6'5" pitcher. Sometimes it can look like it's a lot of arms and elbows flailing at you at the plate. His 48th pitch of the game so far. Abrams, who's doubled in a 1-1 count. And a curveball popped up out of play. And you can just see the Nats trying to wait back as long as humanly possible on that hook.
Hard to do. The difference in speed is what he relies with that curveball. We've seen some at 68 and 69. Fastball's been, you know, that 90 to 93 range.
Abrams punches one into right center, and Bassett will not escape the inning with Wood stranded. It's off the wall, and it's a second double for C.J. Abrams. He's hit them both well. And Wood and Abrams, 2 of the young stars on this team, have a double-double inning to make it 4-0.
Pretty good piece of hitting right there. Got him at sinker. That ball ran over the plate just enough for Abrams to get a barrel to it. James Wood trots home with the 4th of the day for the Nationals.
Four hits for the Nats today, 4 extra base hits. The Orioles have 4 hits, 4 singles. So the hit column level, the run column lopsided. As Lyle takes a ball, and it's 1-1.
And that's what 0 for 3 last night. Runners in scoring position. Already 2 base hits today with runners in scoring position.
And both extra base hits at that.
Oh, it sounds simple, but talking to Chris yesterday, he said my indicators are really the extra base hits or the walks against me. Right-handers are hitting .275, but they're not walking much, no extra base hits, but this is where lefties are getting it. 12 extra base hits, all 2 lefties, and then you have the walk of Nunez before the Ruiz home run.
Yeah, and look, the curveball will offset the lefties, but for me, the changeup has to offset the lefties too. And Bassett struggled this year with his changeup.
3-1 is a sweeper. Wow, he had thrown almost no sweepers to lefties this year. In fact, that is only the 5th he's thrown to a left-handed batter this season. Searching for answers in the 3rd as Lyle gets a curveball, a much harder curve there at 76. That's interesting. We've seen that pitch be about 69 today.
Lyle down swinging at a 2-seamer, so Bassett ends the inning with a strikeout. Wood, Abrams add to the Washington lead. Pete Alonso coming up in the 4th. The 4th inning of Orioles baseball brought to you by Central Atlantic Toyota dealers. Shop Toyota for legendary style and reliability. And check out the all-new RAV4 at Toyota.com. Kevin Brown, Ben McDonald with Melly Newman and our wonderful Masson crew back from Nationals Park, where the Nats took the opener 3-2 yesterday and jumped out to a quick lead today. Middle of the Orioles order in the middle innings, and a first pitch changeup misses from Cade Cavalli to Pete Alonso. Pete is the only Oriole who had faced Cade Cavalli in a regular season game coming into today. 1 for 3 with a double against him, and he has a base hit today as Cavalli misses with a two-seamer. Alonso, Basayo, and O'Neill. Orioles 4, 5, and 6. Cavalli has been living around the edges of the plate early today.
He has stayed right out of the middle. Even when he's falling behind, he's been able to climb back in the count with quality pitches.
2-1 breaking ball into shallow right field. Wood coming a long way will make the catch. Well, 1 week from today, it's Samuel Basayo bobblehead day, presented by Giant Food. 15,000 fans received the Basayo bobblehead before the Orioles 4:05 game with the Detroit Tigers. Buy your tickets at Orioles.com/tickets. Sam struck out on a high hook in the first inning with 2 runners on and 2 out. Basayo fouls a breaking ball off himself. Scott Behringer quickly out of the dugout, the Orioles head athletic trainer. Remember, Basayo was scratched from Monday's game with left knee discomfort, and he's in some discomfort right now. Where'd this hit him?
It wasn't on the left, it was on the right shin is what it looked like, kind of on the inside part.
Caught the shin guard, but that appears to have only dulled the blow. Sammy is DHing again today, and he is good to stay in. We'll see if he catches tomorrow. The Orioles have been keeping Maverick Hanley on the roster, the third catcher. So maybe still not quite 100%. Hanley was called up when Dylan Beavers went on the IL a couple of days ago and has stayed with the team. As Basayo fouls the ball away. The Orioles add Tommy Pham to the organization today. The well traveled outfielder has signed a minor league deal. He's headed to Norfolk. Not much else word in terms of that move from Craig Albanez, but Pham, 38-year-old, will head to the AAA Tigers to add some outfield depth. Basayo swings at a pitch way up and out of the zone. 5 strikeouts now for Cavalli.
Well, you mentioned Cavalli struck out, what, 10 in back-to-back starts. Then the strikeouts kind of went down his next few starts, but back up today. A couple of breaking balls down and in, and a 4-seam elevated fastball. Gets rid of Basayo.
That's 6 straight outs for Cavalli, starting with the ending double play in the second. And Tyler O'Neill, his first pitch fouling. The heater's very good today. Averages 96 on the year. We've seen it up to 99. We're also seeing a lot more first pitch strikes and a lot more balls in the zone than Cade Cavalli typically throws. His first pitch strike rate's just 59% today. Cavalli is 11 for 15.
Big league average right about what, 61% first pitch strikes.
Here's an 0-2. O'Neill down to third base, gobbled up by Tennant. It's another 1-2-3 inning. Cavalli perfect the second time through the Orioles order. Support the Orioles on Memorial Day. That's Monday, May 25th, as the O's take on the Tampa Bay Rays at 1:35. 20,000 fans receive a Maryland replica jersey presented by MLB. That's Work Zone Safety Campaign. Get your tickets right now at Orioles.com/tickets. Orioles trail 4-0. Chris Bassitt has only allowed 4 hits, but 3 have been doubles, 1 a home run. 3-run shot by Keibert Ruiz. Nasim Nunez, batter with the only walk, swings and misses at a first pitch cutter. Bassitt's last outing was a 6-inning outing after Keegan Aiken opened against the Athletics Sunday. Gave up just 1 run in those 6 innings in relief. Greg Alvarez said they gave him a heads up about it a little ways before the start. You never know how you mess with a starting pitcher's routine in that kind of situation, but Chris handled it perfectly. There's his usage today. The cutter, the curveball are up. And we even saw Bassitt pitch through a bloody knuckle on top of his thumb, which he said is something he's handled for years. He said, when I throw certain pitches, I cut myself on my thumb, but it's not in a spot that gives him any problems. Greg Alvarez jokingly compared it to the Kurt Schilling bloody sock. Bassitt showed his toughness. There's a strike to Nunez, 2-2.
Yeah, that's not uncommon. Greg Olson used to get that from his curveball, and it's pretty common in pitchers because the fingernail will kind of get into that thumb every now and then on certain pitches.
2-2 for Nunez. Major league leader in steals takes ball 3.
Definitely a guy you got to keep off the base pass. As Ruiz waits his turn, who hit the 3-run homer back in the 2nd inning.
Shallow left field. A retreating Ward changes his course, and Bassitt does keep Nunez off the base paths. Tires the leadoff hitter for the first time since the 1st inning. You ever deal with bloody knuckles or any sort of blisters, any blood problems?
I had plenty of blister issues. Matter of fact, I had to start gripping my fastball a little bit differently and kind of getting off the seams and getting more on the leather of the ball.
Into left by Ruiz. Here's Ward for out number 2. So talk about the possible bloody situation here. You say some fingernails kind of dig into the knuckle.
Sometimes your pointing finger or your middle finger as you throw the ball sometimes can get into the thumb when you let the ball go, and he had a cut, it looked like Bassitt did, on the top of his knuckle. And that's not uncommon for that fingernail to kind of get into that knuckle. And we used to have blister problems too, but they taught us how to get off, instead of being on the seams, which are 2 seam, maybe get on the leather kind of in between. Because anytime you're coming off the seam to try to rip it, when you come off the seam enough times, you get a hot spot on your finger right there, and it can create a blister. Blisters are a problem that a lot of pitchers deal with over the course of a season. But sometimes you just got to grip it a little bit differently. And now, you know, we used to get away with a few things years ago. Now pitchers were being checked coming off the field, coming into the game. But there was a year I pitched, I think it was 34 starts. In 31 starts, I had the little steri strips on my finger. So after every inning, I'd go down to the tunnel. Richie Bancels would take those steri strips and put over my finger. And I'd take a little pine tar because it was white, and I would make it blend in the same color as my finger, but it was the only way that I could go out and pitch without ripping my finger wide open. And so it would last about 15 pitches. If I had a long inning, then it was just burning the entire time, and then we'd come back in, we'd put 3 more of them back on. I would kind of color, you know. Now you could never get away with that because you're always getting your fingers and your hands checked.
I don't actually know what is a steri strip.
It's like, you know, what they call a butterfly bandage, where when you need stitches, but you can't go to the doctor, and they kind of close it up tight. Well, same thing. We were using those things, little thin pieces, because if you get a lot on your finger, you can't feel the baseball. But if you keep it thin, sometimes you can still feel the baseball, and it allows you to continue to pitch.
Well, thankfully for Chris, he was able to pitch, and he said it made it look bad, but it was no problem. Got through the 6 innings last time. We haven't seen any bloody paths today. 2-2 is up and away for Jorby Bebas, and it's 3-2. Bassitt looking for his first 1-2-3 innings since the 1st. Hoping to push the 9-hitter Jacob Young back into the 5th. Here's another payoff pitch. And it is popped up.
Pete Alonso will call it and catch it. So Bassett with a perfect fourth inning. The O's will look to get on the board in the fifth.
And a blue moon.
Celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander heritage at Camden Yards on Thursday, May 28th. The Orioles take on the Blue Jays at 6:35. The special ticket package includes an Orioles AAPI celebration cap and a ticket to the game. Groups of 15 or more can save as well. Go to Orioles.com/ticket packages.
Let's say we put a crooked number on the scoreboard here at the top of the fifth.
I'm with you. I'll sign up for that right now. Fifth and sixth innings have been the Orioles' big innings of the year, and the seventh. Those are the Orioles' 3 highest scoring innings of the year. Innings 1 through 4, the Orioles' 3rd worst team in the American League. Only 1.5 runs per game. Fifth inning or later, they are the 2nd highest scoring team in the AL. Why that's the case, who really knows? Greg Albertez would like that not to be the case, but his team has often shown late life, and hopefully they can start to show it in the middle innings with Taveras, Mayo, and Jackson, first 2 of whom have hits against Cade Cavalli. Coyote sends a fly ball down the line and left, foul territory and unplayable for Lyle. What's your best theory on that, Dr. McDonald?
Some things, what do you say? Some things are just baseball. I can't figure out why. I mean, obviously, the more you see a pitcher and you see him for the 2nd and 3rd time, the chance of scoring goes up from there. But it's a little bit of a mystery because this Oriole offense is supposed to be a good offense, and you would think they'd have a few more runs earlier in ball games. Because I always feel like the first inning is the toughest one for a starting pitcher. That's when, if you're going to get him, you're going to get a lot of them in the first inning before they get their rhythm and they get going.
Well, the O's are tied for 24th in first inning scoring, 27th in the 2nd inning. Go to the 5th inning, they're the 6th highest scoring team in baseball. The 6th inning, they're tied for 4th. The 7th inning, they're tied for 3rd. So for whatever reason, these have been the spots where the Orioles have been one of the better teams in the league. Now this 5th inning starts with a strikeout, and Cade Cavalli is doing everything he can to keep the O's off the board. His ball is absolutely moving.
He's got a good fastball today, and I mean good velocity. He's working at the top of the zone. He's coming behind it with those breaking balls and that sweeper. That's a really good breaking ball there. High fastball sets up the breaking balls. And he's doing just enough changing the eye level with high fastballs to get to the off-speed stuff.
It's a new pitch this year, that sweeper. Kobe Mayo goes after the first pitch, vaults it into shallow center field. Jacob Young makes the play. Second time through the order, the league had a .900 on base plus slugging against Cavalli.
That is 9 in a row. Tend to get a little bit more aggressive.
Jackson grounded into a double play that killed the Orioles' biggest threat of the game in the 2nd. And that ball shot through the right side. There's the Orioles' first hit since the 2nd inning.
And that Jeremiah Jackson is at his best when he's doing that right there. When he racked up so many RBIs and so many hits early in the year, he was powering the ball to the backside of the field. You got to respect the off-speed stuff. That's just a fastball, and boy, inside out swing and a bullet out to right field. That's some bat speed right there.
Two straight days with a very hard hit for Jeremiah. The rock double yesterday. And the 5th Oriole hit sets up Gunnar Henderson for 3rd time.
Gunnar struck out his last time on a changeup. Remember, it was supposed to be away, and it was painted down and in.
That's an area where a lot of lefty power hitters thrive. It's an area where Gunnar Henderson has struggled this year. He's actually been better at the top of the strike zone.
So he's hit the ball better at the top of the strike zone than he has at the bottom of the zone, is what you're saying.
Yes. It's a little unusual. And that ball down and in is knuckled over to second base. So Henderson is 0 for 3. Orioles have 5 hits. They've stranded 4 and they trail by 4.
At Panera.
One nation, one love, one purpose, sent from above. Together we rise, together we rise as one. Together we rise, together we rise as one.
Back to Washington, D.C. on this Armed Forces Day 2026. Orioles and the Nationals on MLB's rivalry weekend. Meeting here in the Beltway Series. The Nats have all 4 runs. A 3-run Keibert Ruiz homer, an RBI double by C.J. Abrams off of Chris Bassett. And Jacob Young, the only right-hander in the lineup, sends one back past Bassett's noggin for a leadoff base hit. Today's military salute on this Armed Forces Day brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union and by Thundercat Technologies. Celebrating today Armed Forces Day, a day of observance where we thank and honor all our current members of the United States Armed Forces for their service and dedication to our nation. There are some of the men and women. Just a couple of innings ago, the crowd here at Nats Park raises their caps to honor those who serve. Third time through for Chris Bassett. He's facing James Wood, who nearly hit a home run, doubled off the tippy top of wall in left center his last time. Wood has also flied out. He's 2 for 6 in the series. And he gets hit. 7th hit batter of the year by Bassett. I don't think most of the Nats fans realize that pitch had hit him at first, but Wood is grazed. Hit by a pitch for the 4th time, and the Nationals' first 2 runners are aboard in the 5th.
Just going back to the curveball and just overcooks it, and right off that left leg, that back leg of Wood.
Well, Bassett has hit 7 batters this year. There's only 1 pitcher in baseball who's hit more, and that pitcher is Kate Cavalli. The National starter has hit 8, but he has not come that close to hitting anybody today. Maybe Basayo in the 1st inning. That was it. So 1-0 for Luis Garcia Jr. Nats up 4-0, not looking for a bunt. As Garcia lines the ball to center. Why bunt? Young will go to 3rd, and he'll hold right there as Taveras got the ball in quickly. And its bases loaded. Nobody out for Jose Tinna.
Boy, the Nationals are just attacking the center part of the field. And they're kind of picking up. They're getting a lot of curveballs, so they're trying to sit back and wait. When you sit back and wait, it allows you to be on time with the fastball in the middle part of the field. Looks like Dietrich Enns, the left-hander, starting to get loose.
The Oriole bullpen is in great shape today, but it may have to be used early as Drew French comes out for a visit. The base is loaded in the heart of the Washington order coming up.
Well, let's see what's going on around Major League Baseball today. Happy birthday to Hall of Famer Jack Morris.
Wait, can I do the copyright?
71 years
real
old.
quick
Yeah, do
first?
that.
Okay, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. And Ben, we turn to you.
And Jack Morris, again, happy birthday, 71 years young. Casey Mize is getting activated for the Tigers. And how about this? Vladimir Guerrero Jr. looks to avoid going 16 straight games without an extra base hit. How about that? First time in his career. That's what's kind of going on around.
I like that you just started your own segment there.
Yeah.
Ben's Today in Baseball.
How about this one? The Phillies, with a win today, can climb back to 500 after their dreadful start.
Don Mattingly era.
And speaking of the Phillies, Kyle Schwarber, 9 homers, 15 RBIs in his last 8 games. I'd say he's heated up a little bit.
Gosh, he's got 20 already. It's May 16th. Tenna with a Two-seamer slashed out of play. It's 0-2. Yeah, the Phillies, who looked lifeless for the first month of the year, have zoomed back into a second-place tie with these Nationals in the East. Of course, that doesn't look like anybody's catching Atlanta, who's 31-14. Best record in baseball.
Don Mattingly, huh?
Donnie Baseball. Nice backdoor cutter there for Bassett. He gets a strikeout of Tenna. And a big K for Chris, his 4th of the game. So bases loaded, 1 out. Now a double play would get you out of the inning.
Yeah, C.J. Abrams can run a little bit, though. It's going to have to be hard to somebody. But the Orioles may come home with this one. Infield still pulled in.
Abrams has grounded into 3 this year, but today he's got 2 ringing doubles. A very tough out for Bassett, who zooms the first one up and away.
Surprising, he's grounded into 3 already. His career high ground ball double plays is only 7.
Well, he's been barreling up the ball this year. Obviously, the harder you hit it, the better chance of turning a double play.
Field is in for Abrams, who pops one up. That'll be an infield fly, and it's out number 2.
Right. Boy, would this be huge. Still got to get the last out, though, here in the 5th. Dalen Lau 0 for 2 today after a monster night last night, 3 for 4. A triple away from the cycle he was last night.
If he gets out of this, you're going to have to do Ben's Major League Baseball report.
We'll do it
every inning.
Every game.
Well, we'll keep doing it until we get a sponsor. Don't you worry. Right now it's just sponsored by my Apple. Ground ball right side. Alonso to Bassett.
Nice.
Bases loaded, nobody out with a heart of the Nats order, and Chris Bassett wriggles out of the straitjacket. You can stream Masson Plus on iOS and Android mobile devices, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. Masson Plus monthly subscriptions are available for only $19.99 a month. Go to MassonSports.com or scan the QR code to get yours today. Great escape by Chris Bassett. It looks like his day is done. He gets a hug from Craig Albernaz. Loaded the bases with nobody out against the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Nats. Got out of it. Threw a couple of sweepers to lefties, which he rarely throws, and got outs on those pitches. And let's see if the Orioles can finally use that kind of inning as a springboard here. They've been really stymied by Cade Cavalli, down 4-0. But they've got their big bats up, Ward, Rutschman, and Alonso. And Taylor's in a 2-0 count. Ward whacked out of play. Ward has a single. Alonso has a single. Taveras, Mayo, and Jackson. All 5 hits are singles against Cavalli. Hasn't walked a batter and struck out 6. Only 20 balls to 20 batters. As 2-1 to Ward is wide. It's 3-1.
Well, that's what they needed, some base runners. And then hopefully there's a long ball mixed in there somewhere.
This is Cade Cavalli's only 2nd 3-ball count of the game. And the first since Basayo in the 1st inning. And Ward will take strike 2.
And he's that felt like KB all night long. When he's got himself behind, he's been able to take a pitch and put it right on the outside edge or the inside part of the plate.
Right-hander's ERA down to 3.57. 27-year-old Cavalli. A little bit up and away. It'll be challenged by Keibert Ruiz.
Previous pitch was called the ball. The catcher is challenged.
This ball might have came back. I hope I'm wrong, but it tried to come back at the end. We'll see.
You're not wrong. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Strike. Batter's out.
And Ruiz flips ball 4 to strike 3. That is now the 5th different pitch Cade Cavalli's thrown to get a strikeout today. It's his first on his 2-seam fastball.
I mean, think about that sequence. 3-1 count. He paints a fastball just on the outside edge, and in a 3-2 count, he takes another ball and puts it right on the edge again.
Adley Rutschman to left. Lyle sliding.
Wow.
He got it.
That's a nice play. We have seen some outstanding defense from the Nats in 2 games. They were terrific last night, and this is as good a play as you'll see right here. Got to fight the wall. The only way to slow down is a slide right here, and sliding all at the same time collects the ball, and that is dangerous when you go into that wall. Because you see there's padding up high, but down low, nothing but concrete. And you know who appreciates that the most? That's the guy on the bump.
Adley now 0 for 8 in the series. Cavalli's retired the first 2 hitters of 4 of the 6 innings, and he's retired all 6 leadoff hitters. Well, the Orioles' chances at sustained rallies has been stymied from the start. The pitch count's only 73 right now for Cade Cavalli. Alonso the base hit to center to fly out to right. Pete fouls away a 2-seamer.
And Cavalli on the year, through 9 starts, he's only averaging a little bit less than 4 2/3 innings per start. But a different kind of day for him. Pitch count is low.
Season high is 6 innings twice. He's on the verge of tying that on just 75
How
pitches.
about 99 miles an hour here in the 6th?
I know, Ben, this is one of those situations where every Oriole fan's going, why can't we hit? And I have a right to be frustrated. Offense has struggled in May. This is also, whatever percentage on one hand, whatever's on the other is up to you to determine. This is one of those days where you're facing a guy with a lively arm who's hitting every spot. And the Orioles have had to be perfect, and they have not been at the plate. Because Cavalli's been darn near perfect through 6 innings. Shows you why he was a first-round pick out of Oklahoma 6 years ago. Back on track after Tommy John derailed his career, along with a couple other injuries, for about 3 years. And Pete just gets a piece of this, chip down the line and right, and that'll get out of play. Cavalli was the Nats' opening day starter this year, and he only lasted 3 2/3. The Nationals did win that game at Chicago. They lost his next 5 starts, won the next, lost the next 2. So they're only 2 7 in his 9 starts, even though his ERA is currently .352. Up and into Pete. He just dribbles it into the dirt. Foul.
Yeah, because Cavalli only made, what, 10 starts last year as he worked his way back from Tommy John, but earned the opening day nod. Look, he's been good this year. He just hadn't given you a lot of length. And a lot of that's by design, because he hasn't thrown a whole lot this year. Or these years leading up to this year, I should say, anyway.
Abrams gobbles up the Alonso ground ball.
That's not fair.
And Pete takes a tumble after. We were told this was the worst defensive team in baseball.
Well, they hadn't been in 2 games in this series, too, because it seems to be above average play. C.J. Abrams gets it over there, and Pete Alonso takes a spill. Birds down by 4 going to the bottom of the 6th.
Chris Bassett's great escape in the 5th inning, Ben. Bases loaded, nobody out. Heart of the order. It's our Nissan pitch cast.
Gets 10 out on a strike, and you get a weak fly ball in the infield by Abrams. So 2 out, bases still loaded, and that sweeper does it. Pete Alonso over to Bassett. So bases loaded, nobody out. Chris Bassett figured out a way to work out of it. 5 innings of work for him, 6 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Dietrich Enns will give way. Or I should say Chris Bassett will give way to Dietrich Enns, the left-hander. Enns making his 10th appearance of the year. He has been really good. 1.54 ERA in those 9 appearances. 11 2/3, 11 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 184 off the left-hander. Enns.
Well, the Oriole bullpen is in great shape because they had the day off on Thursday, and Josh Walker's inning was the only inning they threw yesterday. So 7 of the 8 relievers are on multiple days of rest. Well, they will need to cover at least 3 innings tonight. Enns facing Nasim Nunez, switch hitter in the 6th spot. Nunez sends a fly ball out to O'Neill in right. That is put away. Let's give you Chris Bassett's final line.
Yeah, threw 82 pitches, 50 of which were strikes. Struck out 4, only walked 1, which is a good number. So back-to-back appearances for him with only 1 walk. Gives up 6 hits, 4 runs. They all were earned. Of course, the big blow came in the second inning, a 3-run home run by Keibert Ruiz.
What do you think Chris will take out of this start?
I felt like his command was a little bit better. I'm happy because he did fight some walk issues earlier in the year, and it seems like he's got that figured out to some point. But it's kind of where the Orioles pitchers have been, the starters anyway. It seems like when they make a couple of mistakes, it seems to go a long way, and that's kind of where it's been this year. Now the bullpen, on the hand, the bullpen has been terrific as of late.
That's pulled fair. Keibert Ruiz with a left-handed home run off of Bassett and a right-handed home run off Ends.
And another extra base hit.
Hitting over 300 against the Orioles career and just crushing the ball today.
9th double of the year. 4-seam fastball elevated. You talk about some quick hands. He gets them in tight to the body, sends a bullet right down the third baseline.
And that brings up pinch hitter Joey Weimer, batting for Jorby Bibas. Nats have 3 right-handers and a switch hitter off the bench. They use a right-hander, Weimer. Takes one a little high from Ends. Joey's had an incredible year. I mean, he got up to this amazing start reach pace 4 times in Chicago. One of Major League Baseball's hottest starts in decades. 1st inning homer, 3rd inning triple, 6th inning walk, 8th inning single to start the season. He didn't make it out the first season of the year, first series of the year for the Nats. He had 6 hits, 3 extra base hits, 2 walks, reaching in all 8 plate appearances. A guy who had been DFA'd 3 times in the last 7 months.
I tell you what we saw right there, when he offers it, he is getting after it.
Breaking balls can't hit him. Off-speed pitches can't miss him. Ends will go with a fastball. He just clipped it out of the mid of Rutschman. Joe ended up reaching his first 10 plate appearances to begin the year, tying the modern record. One and 2 from Dietrich Ends. And change up is high. Ends been on a nice little run since his return from the injured list, and a left foot infection reinstated 2 weeks ago. Weimer pulls the ground ball to Gunnar Henderson. He'll go to third base, and he'll get the over-aggressive Ruiz. So Keibert a little too greedy, and he is out on a 6-5 fielder's choice.
Base running mistake there. We see it a lot in Major League Baseball. Rule of thumb is it's got to be at you or behind you. That ball clearly in front of him. A 2-hopper to Gunnar Henderson, who collects the out over at third base, gives it to Mayo.
And the Nats are aggressive on the base paths, sometimes aggressive to a fault. They do the kind of things you expect a young and hungry team to do. They're 5th in steals. They're middle of the pack, 15th in stolen base percentage, and they will run themselves into some outs. And that play will probably be dissected by Blake Butera and his coaching staff either tomorrow or in a meeting later this week. Ball 1 to Jacob Young. Nobody warming for Washington. Cade Cavalli is only at 79 pitches through 6 innings. Nats have had traffic on the bases in 4 of their 6 innings today. It's signed to Young, it's 3-0.
Well, Dietrich Gann's trying to continue what's been an incredible run for the Oriole bullpen as of late. Last 7 games, 26 innings of work in the last 7 games for the Orioles. The ERA 1.04. That's how good this bullpen has been as of late.
They're 15th in the majors at a 4.01 bullpen ERA. That's including 3 innings where they've allowed a combined 23 runs.
Yeah, it feels like about a week ago they were like 22nd, and they're all the way down to 15th.
Fought off foul by Young, 3-2. In fact, exactly 1 week ago, you're right, they were 22nd.
Yep.
They had a 4.57 ERA, so in a week they've gone all the way down from 4.57 to 4.01.
Yeah. Well, giving up 3 earned runs in 26 innings will get it down quickly, and that's kind of what's happened.
It's 3-2 for Young. Weimer will run from first. And you can know a big part of that.
Bill Garcia continues to shine.
Here's a payoff pitch from Dietrich Ends. That's grounded foul by Young. It remains 3-2. 95 there from Ends. Sneaky fastball velocity for Dietrich Ends, who maybe had a reputation as a little bit of a junk baller, a guy who's kicked around, a former 19th rounder, but he's got all heaters to Young here. Looking for a 6th straight scoreless outing since coming off the injured list. And Young golfs a fly ball to right center field. Taveras in the gap will make the play. So Ends works around a 1-out double. To the 7th we go.
So I hammer the rudder and we go.
We are 2 weeks away from Star Wars weekend at Camden Yards, May 29th through the 31st. Friday night, Star Wars themed fireworks presented by SeatGeek postgame. Saturday, 15,000 fans get a Jordan Westberg Star Wars bobblehead powered by PNC. And Sunday, 10,000 fans 12 and under receive a Star Wars Kids poster. Go to Orioles.com/tickets and secure your seats for this epic galactic weekend.
Rule the galaxy. The galaxy. Well, Cade Cavalli has been on point today. Retired 13 of the last 14 Orioles he's faced. He won't get Samuel Basallo here, though.
No, he won't. That ball will get into the bullpen. Just the 2nd home run against Cavalli this year. Juan Soto took him deep in April, and Samuel Basallo, who is one of the most special hitters in the game, does so in May. His 6th home run of the year puts the Orioles on the board.
Well, Cavalli's been getting ahead of Samuel Basallo with those breaking balls and then finishing him up top with 2 strikes with a fastball. Don't like Big Sam just went up there and said, you know what? I think I'm going to sit on the breaking ball. And did he ever sit on that one? That thing got out like now.
Four to 1 game as Tyler O'Neill takes a called strike.
Boy, that's what you call a hanging breaking. Hanging breaking ball right there. And that's leaning back on one right there, KB. Just what felt like a line drive right into the Nats bullpen. I think his foot's hurting him too bad.
No, it does not appear to be. 9-game hit streak now for Sammy. 6 extra base hits in that span. Juan Soto, April 29th. And Samuel Basallo, 2 guys who have been and are in the big leagues at 21 years old. The only players to homer against Cade Cavalli this year. So that puts a little life into the game for the Orioles, and it starts that Nationals bullpen, which just had a baseball fly in with right-hander Brad Lord. 1-2 for Tyler O'Neill. That ball is drilled to deep left field. O'Neill will leave the building. Back-to-back blasts for Basallo and O'Neill. And here come the Orioles. It's 4-2.
2 loud swings right there. O'Neill's 2nd long ball of the year. How about that one coming off the bat? 111 off the bat. 2 line drives out of here, and the Orioles have cut the lead in half here in the top of the 7th. Oh, they're not waiting until the 9th tonight.
Well, Cade Cavalli had allowed 1 home run to his first 212 batters of the year, and he gives up back-to-back to start the 7th.
And that's where Tyler O'Neill's looking right there. Middle and slightly in. The ball on the outside part of the plate, he's been kind of gently pulling off of it, but not that one. He got it in the perfect spot, and look at this.
Nunez can't handle the ground ball from Taveras. Just like that, the lifeless, listless offense of the Orioles has sprung out of the coffin here, and nobody's out with a tying run coming up.
Tying runs coming to the plate all of a sudden. How quickly it can change.
Wow.
Nunez going hard to his glove side. He can't pick it up. Probably should go down, I'm sure, a base hit.
It will be the second ground ball hit the infield for Leody Taveras today. A shock to the system here as young Simon Matthews, the Nationals pitching coach, visits the mound.
Well, this changes everything. Cavalli's going to be a little bit more careful. He won't be nearly as aggressive in the zone because he knows, too, the tying runs fix the step in the batter's box, and the guy, Kobe Mayo, who can also turn run around quickly.
Mel, what you got as we see you behind Miguel Cairo?
I'm trying to get out of the way right now with this hit. Miguel Cairo came over here at the top of the inning and is trying to keep out of our amazing camera guy Scott's way here. And as soon as he thought about going back in the dugout, Basayo homered, and the whole dugout yelled at him that he had to stay over here. So he keeps trying to go back in, and the Orioles keep hitting. So listen, if it sticks, keep your seats.
Is he? Where's he going? Where's he going? He's leaving.
Mel, turn him around.
He's
Tell him
leaving.
to get right back up on top.
What are you thinking, Miggy?
Singley's kind of his keeper. He'll get him right in a minute.
Oh my gosh, Miguel Cairo, who's interim manager of the Nats last year. So he's in the camera well, and now he has vacated it to the stairwell just to get a little closer to the action. A year ago, Miguel Cairo was navigating the Nats in the other dugout. Now he's hoping Kobe Mayo can keep the line moving here in the 7th.
Kobe's 1 for 2 today. He's had some pretty good swings.
Takes a breaking ball for strike 2. I think he just wants a friend at this point. But superstitions are superstitions. 0-2 for Mayo. Will wait. Time was called by the batter, granted very late by Chris Conroy. Very, very late in that sequence.
That's really late. Now Cavalli just threw an 0-2 breaking ball right there. So now the game begins. Mayo's got to be thinking, am I getting that breaking ball again when it matters, or is he going to try something else here?
He went back to the breaking ball.
Kind of dropped the slot a little bit, just kind of went to the sweeper that time.
Most combined runs per game since 2004 scored and allowed. The Nats at over 11 per game. So even though this was a low scoring game for a little while, they have a tendency to give it up. The number's at 6 right now. Miguel Cairo, by the way, was on that 2007 Yankees team, which is right behind him. Mayo gets a fastball. 98 on the 90th pitch from Cade Cavalli, and it's 0-2.
No problem with the Nationals offense this year, but the pitching's been a little bit different. They come in 29th in ERA. Only the Rockies, the worst ERA than what the Nationals have coming into the game today.
The 5th pitch to Mayo is a 2-strike single in the game. And Kobe powers one to left field.
Stay fair.
It's deep.
Stay fair.
It's down the line. It is
No.
foul by John Tumpain, the third base umpire, to the absolute dismay of the Oriole dugout.
No way. This ball looked fair to me.
You can call for a crew chief review without wasting a challenge on a home run. That's exactly what Craig Albernaz will do.
Now, it kept hooking, but to me, when it got past the fair pole, it was in play.
Rolling on the field is a foul ball. This is a crew chief review for a potential home run.
This has got to be turned around. Boy, 0-2 count, too. I mean, to me, it goes right over the top of it. Now, forget about where it lands. It's not important where it lands. It's where it gets over.
Oh, man.
Did it just barely miss it on the foul side? I mean, there's no one perfect definitive angle, of course. That last one maybe as good as we're going to get. Wow. He thought he had it.
Oh my goodness.
I think the bat flip is under review as well.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. It is a foul ball.
Oh, man. That ball was hit 111 miles per hour. It was hit 406 feet, and it was hit as close as you could possibly get to being a fair ball without being a fair ball. This may be the angle right here. It's just a sliver to the left of the pole in that angle.
Why can't we just put 20 more feet on the foul pole? It probably hits it.
Try it again on 0-2. This has been a rather eventful at bat, hasn't it? We've seen time called in the middle of the windup.
A bat flip on a foul ball.
It's only been a 6-pitch at bat. It feels like it's an at bat that's gone in 6 different directions. Here's the 7th pitch. Mayo takes it. These are some good takes now by Kobe. It's 2-2.
Cavalli just living on the outside edge with that breaking ball, living out there with the fastball.
Young Kobe Mayo has absolutely obliterated baseballs this week. He obliterated a foul ball a couple pitches ago that he chases here finally. Cavalli in an at-bat where he was saved by maybe inches picks up his 8th strikeout.
He just kept feeding those breaking balls to the outside part. The near home run was a fastball down the middle. He wanted to have it on the outside part of the plate. He finally gets that sweeper over there and gets rid of Kobe Mayo.
So a season high 6 1/3, and given how much he had to empty in the tank there, Blake Buterra is going to take him out of this game to what should be a thunderous ovation. Brad Lord will come in, but the Orioles have finally bruised and battered Cavalli in the 7th. They'll have the tying run up when we return. Cade Cavalli had only allowed 1 home run on the year. Pitching in 46 1/3 innings, he gives up back-to-back to Samuel Basayo and Tyler O'Neill. Leody Taveras singled, Kobe Mayo struck out, and it's not Brad Lord. It'll be P.J. Poulin, the left-hander, in for the Nats as the Orioles have the tying run at the plate.
Poulin making his 22nd appearance, 20 innings of work, 15 strikeouts, but 12 walks. Keep an eye on that. Opponent's hitting .216 off the left-hander. Poulin
certainly outpitched his peripherals as he'll face Jeremiah Jackson and sling a sweeper low.
Sweeper leads the way 36% of the time. 2 4-seam fastball and a changeup for Poulin. His best pitch has been that sweeper.
And this makeshift Nats bullpen, he has started 5 games as an opener and he has saved 2 games as a closer. Jackson knocks one out of play. Poulin is looking for an inning-ending double play. That's what Jeremiah grounded into in the 2nd, his team leading 8th. He did have a sharp single in the 5th inning, though. Jackson represents the tying run. Now he's the Oriole leader with 25 RBIs on the year, most of those early. Some good swings, though, here in Nationals Park as Jeremiah takes a sinker wide. Oh, Miguel's, wait, hang on a second. I was going to say he's back in the camera well, but he's getting antsy. Doesn't he understand what's at stake here? Jackson clubs the ball to deep left center field. It sends Young back. He's in front of the wall, and he makes the catch as he always does. Taveras read it well and hustles back to first, but Spider-Man Young takes away an extra base hit for the 2nd straight night.
It just feels like if it stays in the yard from right center field to left center field, Jacob Young is going to run it down. I mean, watch this jump he gets because he's shaded slightly toward right center field. He never even checked the wall. He can feel the track with his feet. Up the wall he goes to collect it. He is a difference maker on defense.
Ben, how many center fielders get there so fast they actually overjump the ball?
Yeah. I mean, the jump was incredible because, again, he was shaded slightly kind of where he is right now. on the right center field side of second base.
So Poulin just barely gets a righty, almost a tying 2-run homer, and now left on left with Gunnar Henderson as he slings one on Taveras. Yet another waiver claim in this Nationals bullpen. We've seen 3 of those in the past 2 games. 11th round pick out of UConn back in 2018 by the Colorado Rockies. Henderson takes a sweeper for a strike. Gunnar has flat out, struck out, and grounded out. All against the right-hander Cade Cavalli, who actually handled the Orioles lefties pretty well, even though lefties have bombarded him this year. Lefties came in hitting .371 off Cavalli, right-handers .178. Cavalli gave up 8 hits, and right-handers had 5 of the 8 hits.
Didn't walk about it though. He was on point. He found a way to kind of climb back. In the few counts he was behind. He wasn't behind in many counts.
Henderson sees one wide. It's 2-1 from the soft throwing lefty P.J. Poulin.
Gunnar wants to get that sweeper and sit on it, catch it right in the middle of the plate for a mistake.
Been a while since his last home run. It's 2-2 here. Still the Orioles leader with 9, but his last home run came on April the 26th. That was also the date of Samuel Basallo's last home run before it today. Sunday game against the Red Sox 18 games ago. And Gunnar sweeps a breaking ball out of play with Taveras on the run. Poulin is not getting a lot of swings and misses. He's getting hit very hard. His walk numbers are high, but some way, somehow, he is outperforming those peripherals to the tune of a .310 ERA.
Well, he sets that sweeper in his hand every time before he engages the rubber.
And he throws it there, down and in.
Taylor Ward waiting his turn, hoping to get an opportunity.
It'll be a 3-2 from Poulin. Taveras on the run from first. And Henderson takes a walk. Well weighted by Gunnar. The Orioles' first walk of the ball game. And here comes Ward representing the go-ahead run. Simon Matthews, Nationals pitching coach, makes his second visit of the inning.
Ward singled his first at bat, struck out, and his next 2.
Where do you set your first pitch sights if you're Taylor Ward?
Away. It feels like that's where Taylor Ward's gotten pitched most of the year this year, to the outside part of the plate. I would eliminate the inside part until I got 2 strikes, and I would look away. Look away for the fastball, look away for that backdoor sweeper.
Orlando Ribalta, a right-hander, is in the Nationals bullpen. Poulin facing his 3rd batter tonight. 2 on, 2 out, 2-run Nationals lead. So ball 1 to the 2-seamer low. Then the only thing P.J. Poulin really does well on his baseball savant page, get ground balls. Again, he's getting outs. He's bared down in these late game situations. He is a ground ball pitcher with that 2-seamer. He is not a strikeout pitcher by any means, and he's in a 2-0 hole right now.
It's like Keegan Aiken, the left-hander, heated up and ready in that Oriole bullpen. Well, a green light here for Taylor Ward. Look wherever you think you're going to get the ball. Get your A swing off if it's there.
Dumped in a 2-0 changeup. Second-year big leaguer P.J. Poulin against the 8th-year big leaguer, or 9th-year big leaguer Taylor Ward, the first-year Oriole. 2-1. Ward with a hard ground ball. It skips away from Tena at third. Tavares is in from second. The Orioles' third run of the inning scores on a sharp ground ball by Ward. And all of a sudden, it's a one-run game. How about that?
Oh, how quickly it can change. Mickey, don't go anywhere, buddy.
Jose Tena's first game of the year at third base, and that ground ball absolutely ate him up.
That ball was mashed too. 104 off the bat. Change up trying to get it to the outside part. It stays right in the heart of the plate. Boy, quickly turned around. Tavares scores from second. And now the tying run in scoring position for the Orioles.
The final run charged to Cavalli. 6-inning shutout turns to 6 1/3, 3 runs. And now Adley Rutschman trying to solve Nationals Park. He is 0 for 3 today. He is 0 for 8 in this series, and he is 6 for 43 all time in this building.
So you're saying he's due?
I'm saying he's as due can be. A strike over the outside. It's 1-1. Two home runs, 2 singles, a walk in the inning, a strikeout in an at-bat where Kobe Mayo nearly homered on a foul ball. Jeremiah Jackson hit one to the wall and was robbed. I mean, every single Oriole batter in this inning has had a good plate appearance. Mayo struck out, but it was 8 pitches, and he was a foot away from a giant home run. Can Adley solve this ballpark, and can he solve it right-handed? Basayo, who started the inning, is in the hole. Henderson at second, the tying run. Ward behind him at first. Here's a 1-2. Rutschman softly to shortstop. That ends the inning, but the Orioles get 3 and pull within 1.
And now it's time for our MedStar Health pitching change. Get the same top-rated care the Orioles trust. Visit medstarhealth.org to find care now. MedStar Health, it's how we treat people. Dietrich Enns did his thing, and now it's up to Keegan Aiken making his 9th appearance of the year. Opponent's hitting .333 off the left-hander, Aiken.
Facing some very tough hitters, including James Wood, who takes ball 1. Orioles get 3 to get within 1 after the Nats scored 3 in the second, 1 in the third. Cade Cavalli gives up 3 runs, 6 1/3. Dietrich Enns is scoreless 6th, and now Aiken. Remember last year, James Wood homered off of Aiken. That was the night before the Orioles dismissed manager Brandon Hyde, and Tim Cousins was a tying home run in the 8th inning in that game. A very sloppy game. The Nats would come back to win in the 9th. Aiken's going to get Wood, Garcia, and Tena here. 3 left-handed hitters. And he falls behind James Wood, 3-1.
Keegan Aiken's first outing of the year was a rough one. Gave up 6 earned runs in 1 inning. But since then, over his next 6 outings, only 1 run allowed.
It might not be Garcia. Curtis Meade on deck. Aiken walks Wood. So the Orioles score 3. Then the Nats get the leadoff base runner on to start the next inning. And a runner who will go in James Wood. So here's Curtis Meade after Garcia went 1 for 3 with a single. And Meade pops the first pitch up. Might have busted his bat too. Rutschman makes the catch, and there's 1 away. And the Nationals will send up another pinch hitter. Brady House will bat for Jose Tena. Tenna, who got eaten up on that ground ball, goes 0 for 3. Chris Conroy trying to get the lineup card straight. One on, one out. House first pitch swinging, and that ball gets by Mayo. Just snuck down the line, and it does not hit the sidewall. It keeps rolling. That's going to bring in one, and the Nationals get one back in the bottom of the 7th. Oh, how did that ball sneak by? First it snuck past third, then it snuck past the little adjudicating side of the wall there, and it's 5-3 Washington.
Man, it just feels like every time the Orioles walk a batter, it comes back to home. This ball wasn't hit hard, kind of off the label, but hits it in the perfect spot. Taylor Ward expecting the ball to kind of hit off the corner and kick out. Instead, it just kind of hugs the wall, gets all the way down the corner.
Pinch hit double for House. It's 5-3 as Abrams takes a strike. Nationals have 8 hits now tonight, and 6 of them are extra base hits. 5 doubles for the team that leads the major leagues in doubles, and Abrams waylays a ball foul. He's got 2 of the doubles. Wood has a double. House has a double. Ruiz has a double and a home run.
Yeah. And we talked about it. 4th most extra base hits in baseball coming into the game, and that number has gone up.
Carved to left field, a base hit. Here comes House to third, and a stop sign there. Runners in the corners, and the Nats are trying to put 3 back.
C.J. Abrams is having himself a year, isn't he?
Another 3-hit game today. Came in with a 912 OPS on the year. 2 doubles, a single, is 37 RBI. The question for him is going to be, can he sustain it? He's had some hot starts and cold finishes before, but this is certainly where you want to be. Here's Lyle left on left. First pitch swinging, missed a high slider. Gotta get Dalen Lyle. Just cannot give up a crooked number after getting 3. Flyout, strikeout, and a ground out for Lyle tonight against Chris Bassett. Swings and misses at another Keegan Aiken slider.
Keegan Aiken would love a strikeout right here. He's got some options. 0-2 now. He can expand the zone. Dalen Lyle has been as hot as anybody as of late.
He didn't get him on that slider. The 1-2. 4 in a row. House a runner at third, Abrams at first. Nats with a run across here in the 7th. Aiken with a 1-2. Cue shot, ground ball to shortstop. Henderson's coming home. Tag. Safe. House, who is a good runner, snuck there to the plate on the outside of the plate, right around Adley Rutschman's tag, but the Orioles will call for a challenge. It's 6-3 Washington as it stands.
Well, Gunnar did all he could do.
Baltimore is challenging the safe call at home plate.
Gunnar has to range. Come in, the ball wouldn't hit hard. Backhand side, and he flips it. Boy, that is close.
Chris Conroy was down to a knee all over it. It's our Hyundai Managers Challenge, the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Deals so right it almost feels wrong. Only at your local Hyundai dealer. Can't see the plate in that angle, so we'll see if this gives us a better idea. And when does he actually touch the plate?
He got the very point of the plate, it looks like. Did House.
The Nats fans are cheering the same angle we've just seen. The question is, when did he get the fingers down on the plate? You have nothing to lose here, because at this point in the game you could call for a crew chief challenge. Once you get to the 8th inning anyway, so you're oh so close to crew chief review territory.
See, his fingers were up at first, and then he got his fingers down on the point of the plate. Fingers are up the entire time. They're still up. They're still up. They're still up.
When is he tagged?
They're still up. Now it's down. But see, the glove is right there too. And I just don't know if there's enough here to overturn this.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Baltimore loses their challenge.
All right, you are. It's an RBI for Lyle. Worth a shot. That probably would have stood either way. But Chris Conroy's call was the ultimate decision, and it's a 2-run Washington 7th for a 6-3 lead. Now these run-scoring innings where you need a shutout inning can be dispiriting. And it's not over yet as Nasim Nunez takes inside, and the Nats may run as well. Abrams at second is a very fast runner, has 7 steals. He scurried off the bag on that first pitch. Orioles better keep them close, or else this could be a double steal situation. It's 2-0 now to Nasim Nunez. 4 perfect outings in Keegan Aiken's last 5. Scoreless in the last 5. 2 runs against him today. 2-0 pitch is down and in. He continues to miss inside to Nunez. 198 hitters in a 3-0 count.
Andrew Kittredge. He will be next. Keegan Aiken doesn't get this batter.
And Aiken doesn't get this batter. Nunez 202 with a 226 slugging percentage coming in. He has walked twice. And 5 out of 6 Nats, including Lyle on the fielder's choice, have reached this inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. The red-hot Ruiz coming to the plate. And Drew French will come out to try to slow the bleeding.
Feels like you got to bring in Kittredge here, doesn't it? I mean, he's a ground ball machine when he's right. That sinking fastball and slider. Orioles may be sticking with Aiken here. Not really a ground ball guy.
Maybe Kittredge isn't ready. Certainly rare that you see a pitching coach visit and then a managerial change. In that spot, you'd probably just see Adley Rutschman go out to talk if they were waiting on Kittredge. Here's Ruiz, who's homered and doubled, knocked in 3 in the game. And he chips the first pitch out of play. Ruiz is 1 for 4 all time against Keegan Aiken. This season he's actually been significantly better against left-handed pitching. For his career he's been ever so slightly better against left-handed pitching. And Ruiz with a line drive base hit to left field. That'll score Abrams. That will score Lyle. The Orioles get 3 in the 7th, and the Nationals have touched up Keegan Aiken for 4. It's 8-3 Washington, and that will end a very difficult outing for Keegan Aiken. 3-hit, 5 RBI game for Keibert Ruiz, who came in with just a .224 on base percentage, but has always hit the Orioles and lights them up today. Andrew Kittredge will come on.
Aiken is out. Andrew Kittredge, the right-hander, is in. Making his 9th appearance of the year, 6 2/3. He has worked 7 strikeouts, 3 walks. Opponents hitting .394 off the right-hander. Kittredge, last 4 outings, allowed 1 run in his last 4 for Kittredge.
Well, this was a 4-0 game going into the inning, and it's going to be at least an 8-3 game coming out of it. Orioles get 3. Nationals answer with 4. Keibert Ruiz singles in 2. And Keegan Aiken only got 1 out in 7 batters faced. So Kittredge will come in to face a right-hander, Joey Wiemer. First and second, there go the runners. Adley will throw to second base, and he's late on the catcher Ruiz there. Well, I mentioned you got to be ready for a double steal a couple of batters ago, and the Nats immediately run on Kittredge, who did not look at the runners first.
Yeah, and Wiemer just, he knew it was on. He never even attempted to swing.
We've seen teams run on Kittredge, who takes a long time to get to the plate. And the Nats, who are very aggressive, were ready for it. So the infield will come in with second and third. And a strike's called to Wiemer, 1-1. He's not sure about it. We're told it did clip the bottom of the strike zone. Into the Nationals dugout. That ball missed everybody. 1-2. Kittredge needs a K. And Wiemer slacks one to right field down the line. That ball will end foul. Not by much. Pretty well hit by Joey Wiemer in his second out off the bench. 8 runs, 10 hits, 3 walks for the Nats today. They have been very good at converting their base runners.
Very good with runners in scoring position, too. 0 for 3 last night, but 5 base hits and 14 opportunities. A ton of opportunities for the Nats.
Ground ball off the fist. Mayo to the plate, and that throw is low and picked by Rutschman for the out. Wow, how did they do that?
That was a big-time play right there by Kobe Mayo. He had 1 chance, and that was to barehand the ball and get it towards home plate. And that's all he did, is got it going towards home plate, and Adley Rutschman does the rest. Watch this. You feel the ball to glove, you got no chance. That was a nice play, and even a better finish on the back end by Adley Rutschman. Just right off the hands. Well, how good is that?
Oh, man. Against a super speedster in Nunez, too. Amazing play to cut down the potential 9th run. So first and second, 2 down. Strike 1 to Jacob Young. Kobe's had a good defensive series. '28th start of the year at third base. Jordan Westberg, we heard yesterday, getting Tommy John on Wednesday, out for the year. So Kobe's going to continue to play a lot of third base, it seems like. He's bounced back from a tough week where he committed a throwing error to end the game in Miami. Some good at-bats and some good defense. Strike 3 call to Young. That's challenge. That's not strike 3.
That looked low.
Pitch is called a strike, hitter challenge.
We don't have the strike zone on our monitors. I'm comfortable making this call. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Pitch the ball. Washington has 2 challenges remaining.
I tell you what, it was closer than what I thought it was, though, right?
I thought too, Ben. Yeah. Nats are 2 for 2 at challenges. Here's 1-2. That's not strike 3 either. That is a struck 3-run homer. When it has rained against this Oriole bullpen, it has poured. The fourth time the Oriole bullpen has given up 6 runs in an inning or more this season. And the number here is now 7.
Boy, just a hanging slider. Matter of fact, it just kind of backed up a little bit on Andrew Kittredge. Jacob Young, who's doing it on both sides of the ball today. A couple of base hits, including a 3-run homer. He's been outstanding on defense as well, and the Nats have just busted this one wide open.
Pitch is called a strike. Hitter challenge.
James Wood will get in on the challenge fund. ABS powered by T-Mobile. James gets it right.
Pitch to the ball. Watching it. 2 remaining.
Man, oh man. Man, oh man. These Nats can hit.
They can hit, and we knew it coming in. They could hit. 10 runs combined here in the 7th inning.
And the extra base hit number is now 7. 7 of their 11 hits, 5 doubles, 2 homers. And Wood pops one up. 10th batter of the inning. And James Wood is retiring. A big time 7-run 7th for the Washington Nationals. As the weather heats up, lock in your seats at the Tower Federal Credit Union Bird Bath. Celebrate every Orioles moment, but be alert at all times. Mr. Splash may be sending water your way, and when a nose player hits a home run in your section, you'll leave with a free ticket to a future game. Go to Orioles.com/birdbath. On to the 8th inning. What a 7th inning it was for the Nationals. The Orioles got back-to-back home runs from Basayo and O'Neill. We're a couple of feet away on a Kobe Mayo blast down the line from tying the game, and the next thing you know, it's 11-3.
In a hurry, too. Orlando Remalta making his 8th appearance of the year. He's been good in the sample size. 2.57 ERA. The whip is outstanding. Opponent's batting average just 130 off the right-hander, Remalta. Good fastball. Fastball is going to average 97. Slider leads the way, about 37%. An occasional changeup.
Couple of the Nats pinch hitters stay in the game. Meade and House. We're at the corners now. Pete Alonso with a base hit tonight. Up ball stroke to the gap. That's a nice swing by Pete. It'll bounce to the scoreboard on a low hop, and Alonso cruises into second with a 2-hit game. 11th double of the year for Polar Pete, second most on the team.
And Polar Pete is wearing it out, man. 2-seam fastball working right back into his barrel.
Two base hits today have been very well struck. Basayo absolutely rockets one to the camera well. You know, we've said that the Oriole bullpen numbers, if you took out these 3 blow-up innings, would look fantastic. They're now 4th of those innings. And it gets to a point where you have to say you could take off those innings, but unfortunately, Ben, those big innings have been a part of the story the last few weeks.
It all adds up.
And given the track record of these pitchers, it's a little hard to figure. Fly ball center field. Abrams will be caught off.
Wow.
And Young, the center fielder, caught it. Lyle cut in front of him.
How did Young even catch that ball? But he seems to catch everything. He does against the Orioles anyway. Look at the concentration. My goodness. Bracing for a collision, but still figured out a way to catch it.
So Basayo, who's homered, is 1 for 4. Now, what do you make of Aiken and Kittredge? Are guys with legitimate big league track records, and they have been victim to a couple of these huge innings this year.
Well, for Aiken, you know, you can kind of get away from his first one because it was his first outing of the year after coming back off the IL with that hip issue, and they had a bad outing. And then after that, they were really good until today. Kittredge has had a couple of these innings, and yeah, I mean, the track records are good.
Does the stuff look noticeably different to you, or is it more about the command?
I think it's more about the command and where the pitches are. You know, Kittredge's a sinker slider guy. Obviously, he likes to be down in the zone, and typically he can wear out the outside part of the plate to righties. But you saw where that 3-run home run when it was a backup breaking ball right in the heart of the plate. So I think it's more about the command and getting the ball where it needs to be. The stuff looks the same from both guys as far as the velocity, the movement.
6 of those runs charged to Aiken, a third of an inning, 3 hits, 6 earned, and 2 walks. Keegan now the 14.63 ERA. And O'Neill strikes out on a fastball down the heart from Ribalta. Strikeout number 9 for Nationals pitching. O'Neill, who's homered, is also 1 for 4. Sometimes nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition or the 2-strike middle fastball. Leody Taveras in search of a 3-hit game. 5th multi-hit game of the year. They've all been 2-hitters for Leody. Taveras had an infield hit in that 3-run top of the 7th. Got the Orioles within 1 till the Nats struck back. It's 1-2. Josh Walker warming for the Orioles here, down 8 in the 8th. As Leody takes strike 3, but he'll challenge it.
Pitch is called the strike, batter's challenging.
And Ribalta knows what the outcome is going to be here. Actually, he turns around. This is a strike, though. And ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Pitch is strike, batter's out. Baltimore 1 challenge.
Orioles lose a challenge and do not score in the inning. Tune in tomorrow at 1 to O's Extra Pregame presented by Bet365. Series finale between the Orioles and the Nationals. Brandon Young will make his DC debut against Miles Michaelis. And then the Orioles will head down to St. Petersburg. Get ready to play the American League leading Tampa Bay Rays. They hope to turn around before they get down there. Josh Walker into the game for a 2nd straight day.
Yeah, Josh Walker worked a scoreless inning in game 1 of this series last night, making his 3rd appearance of the year. Only worked 3 innings, 1 hit. Opponent's hitting .111 so far this year off the left-hander Walker.
Andrew Kittredge 2/3 of an inning, a hit and an earned run. Keegan Aiken a 1/3 of an inning, gave up 6. How about the season for Aiken, his first outing of the year? Scoreless inning, comes back out for the 9th, gives up 6 earned runs. The next 7 games, 6 2/3, gives up 1 run, and today gives up 6. So 11-3 Nationals. Curtis Mead, who pinch hit in the 7th, comes in. And Walker starts him 2-0. So you know what we needed in that bottom of the 7th inning? We needed you to go around the league again. Turn the Orioles' fortune.
We may have to try it.
Well, if you're looking for a flicker of hope here in an 8-run game, we can go around the softball world, where we had the single greatest comeback in the history of the Division I college softball tournament today. Texas Tech down 8-0 with 1 out to go against Ole Miss. Scored 8 in the 7th and then won 10-9 in the 8th.
Single greatest comeback in the history of the softball tournament. So if they can come back from 8 down, Ben, can the Orioles do it?
Well, I hate to one-up you.
Go ahead, one up me. 8-0 down to their final out, though. That's pretty hard to.
In college baseball, Arkansas was up 10-0 on Kentucky in the first inning, 12-3 in the fourth, and then Kentucky scores 8 runs, including a grand slam, and now the game is tied at 12-12 after Arkansas was up 10-0.
What's going on in college sports today?
It's called equipment.
Yes. Very much so.
The good news is like the rain skirted us and kind of went around us.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Because it was dark about 30 minutes ago, and it's starting to lighten back up again.
There's a strike to Brady House. Is he going to challenge? No, he's just going to massage the side of his helmet. That's some good feel in an 8-run game. House out of play. Brady House never made it to college ball out of Winder, Georgia, but he would have been a Tennessee Volunteer. He was first-round pick instead. Got a big-time signing bonus. And it's just a foul ball out of the mitt of Rutschman. Led this game 3-0 after Keibert Ruiz homer in the second. Got another run in the third on doubles by James Wood and C.J. Abrams, the latter of whom had scored on the Ruiz homer. Kate Cavalli shut the Orioles out through 6 innings. In the 7th, Samuel Basayo and Tyler O'Neill went back-to-back. Leody Taveras single. With 2 outs, Gunnar Henderson walked and Taylor Ward singled to make it 4-3. P.J. Poulin got Adley Rutschman to line out softly to short. And then the floodgates opened for Washington, which scored 7 runs in the 7th on 4 hits, 2 walks, and a fielder's choice that scored a run. Paxton Schultz chugging a drink in the Nationals bullpen. Walker up and out of the strike zone to House, 2-2. With a win, the Nats would finally snap this 15-game losing streak over 2 years of games played when they're a game under 500. House demolishes this to left field. That ball will land off the tippy top of the wall, but no, it's gone. It actually hit the railing. John Tumpage signals it's a 2-run home run. Snuck it out of the house, and Brady off the bench has an RBI double and a 2-run homer. It's now 13-3. And appropriately enough, they play The House is Rockin' here at Nationals Park.
Well, he rocked that one all right. 110 off the bat, 369 feet it covered in a hurry.
So Brady House with the Nationals' 8th extra base hit. Coming into today, the Nationals were 2nd in the majors, 5.3 runs per game. Swing and a miss by C.J. Abrams. Big reason why, because the Nationals led the major leagues in doubles, and they still will, and they were 3rd in extra base hits, 1 behind Atlanta for 2nd, 6 behind the Yankees for 1st. Now 5 doubles and 3 homers later, the Nats may be the major league leaders in extra base hits by the end of this game.
Well, and they'll be the major league leaders in runs per game when we get here tomorrow as well, because they're only 1 run behind the Braves. They played the same amount of games, but only 1 run behind.
So unless Atlanta puts up at least a dozen against the Red Sox, and Peyton Tolley, very good rookie. You are right about that. Abrams with 3 of those hits today. Grounds one past Walker to Henderson. And Gutter's got the first out of the 8th inning. Time now for a word from Hyundai.
Built for Monday, born for Saturday. How it should be. The Hyundai Santa Fe.
Get 0% APR or $2,750 bonus cash on a Hyundai Santa Fe or lease for $319 a month. Proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles.
Dalen Lyle has not gotten into the hit party. He did drive in a run with a fielder's choice. So 8 extra base hits for the Nats today. They've only hit the Orioles 12-10. The hit column is very similar. The error column is nothing, and yet it's been a lopsided game with all of the extra base hits. 6 for 16. Runners in scoring position now for Washington.
Sometimes you're the hammer and sometimes you're the nail, KB.
Sound like my freshman football coach. We know which one of those I was. Base hit for Lyle, his first of the game.
I just can't see you on a football. You played football?
And you were right. I didn't play much.
Kickoff team?
That is exactly right. I was literally on the kickoff team.
Not the receiving team, but kickoff team.
Kick coverage team.
I'm thinking you were probably in high school 5'10", about a $135 maybe?
Yeah. What position do you think I played outside of the kickoff team? I was a backup, obviously.
I'm saying
late game only.
I'm saying like safety, cornerback.
Cornerback, yeah, you've got me pegged. Cornerback. I was the late game blowout defensive back. But the kick coverage team in high school is like for the kids who try hard but don't have a position.
I understand. You got to have look. You got to have guys like that. Now, how many tackles were you involved in? Did you ever stick your helmet in there on somebody?
I did, but my big moment was I recovered a fumble the last game of the year.
Okay.
Against Kellenberg, our big rivals, Kellenberg Memorial High School. Got on the ball. There was a ball there, and I'm seeing the ball, and I see the end zone in front of me, and all I could think is every practice you're taught,
just
if you see this ball, just dive.
Just get on it.
So I have these visions of glory. I'm going to pick it up right in the end zone, and then at the last second I said, I'm just diving on this thing.
I don't blame you.
Strikeout for Walker. He gets Nunez. And I remember then in the pile, I think it was Rob Del Greco, one of my high school teammates, who's trying to jar the ball loose because anybody who played football knows it's just crazy down there in a dog pile. And I'm yelling like, Rob, I've got the ball.
It's me.
Yeah, it's me. And then we get to the sideline, and our coach had no idea who'd recovered the fumble.
You didn't bring it off the field with you?
No, I gave it to the official. He's high-fiving everybody else. He's like, who got the ball? Brown? You got it, Brown?
How did that happen?
Good job, Brown. It's the most shocked he was all year. Oh, why I decided football was a good idea, I mean, is a mystery still to me. From there on in, I was a cross-country.
I think you say then you quickly pivoted to track.
Yeah, pivot to track.
A less contact sport.
That was a career choice. That was beneficial for me. As far as I know, no concussions. We did give up 1 touchdown on the kick return crew to our hated Chaminade High School. It was our only loss of the year. 6-1 freshman year for Holy Trinity High School, 2007. Go Titans. 2-1 to K-Bear Ruiz. How did we end up on this topic? I have no idea.
13-3. Just look at the bug.
Yes. That might have been the score when I recovered the fumble. 13-3. Ruiz having a monster game. 3 hits, triple shy of the cycle, 5 RBIs, and a foul ball. 2-2. See, it's no fun to ask you about your high school football accomplishments because you actually were like a real player. You had probably many accomplishments.
I pretty much just punted and kicked.
Oh, you pretty much just punted? Okay.
Played a little defensive end my freshman year and receiver, but after that, the baseball coach like, you're just going to kick and punt.
By the way, 5 RBIs, a career high for Ruiz today. You could have been a heck of a red zone target, though. Just run the fade and throw it up.
I did get in the shotgun occasionally.
Okay. Wildcat quarterback?
There was no running, just throwing.
30th pitch of the inning for Walker, scooped out to left. Ward is there, and Nats get 2 more. Varsity Blues to the 9th we go, 13-3.
Today.
Austin Schultz is the new national pitcher in the 9th as Washington looks to close out game 2 of this 3-game series.
Yeah, Schultz has a good year so far, making his 12th appearance, a very good ERA. On his batting average down at .226 for the right-hander, Schultz.
Orlando Ribalta gave up a leadoff double in the 8th and struck out the last 2, so scoreless inning for him. It's a 1-run game going to the bottom of the 7th. Nats got 7 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. And Schultz delivers a strike with a cutter to Kobe Mayo. It sure looked like the Orioles had tied this game in the 7th inning. How quickly things flipped around here. Kobe launched a ball down the left field line, towering, soaring, 400-foot drive, flipped his bat, so sure he was gone. Ducked his head, jogged to first, called a foul ball. We saw on review it was just barely foul, just about knocked the paint off the pole on the way by, but was confirmed as a foul ball. And Kobe would strike out in that at bat. Now the Orioles did get another run, but this is the swing that almost tied the game, and in the blink of an eye it's now a 10-run game.
Well, Kobe thought he had it, man. He thought he had it. A big bat flip. This ball just, to me, went right over the top of the pole. And I mean right over the top of the pole.
And next time Kobe will probably hold the bat flip till he gets a fair call. It was a heck of a swing, but just ever so slightly ended up as a long loud strike, and he'd strike out a few pitches later. You can hardly blame the over exuberance. You look at the Oriole fans in the dugout. They were seemingly dead of the water. They thought they had rallied to tie the game. And once again, the Orioles really don't get the bats going until late in the game, but obviously the story of this game will be the Nationals offense and the Orioles inability to contain them. 3-2 for Kobe here. Hammers this ball out of play. The Orioles will need to turn this around tomorrow, and they've got the Tampa Bay Rays on the back end of this road trip. Tampa Bay right now the best record of the American League. They're currently in extra innings with the Miami Marlins. Mayo takes strike 3. He will challenge here.
Pitch is called the strike. Hitter's challenging.
And he will be right.
Pitch the ball. Baltimore has 1 challenge remaining.
I know it's 13-3, but still, you don't want to just take a strikeout at pitch. That's wrong. Kobe will take his walk. He's on for a second time of the game. Rays, by the way, have given up 4 in the 10th to Miami, so the Marlins still batting, lead that game 6-2.
Rays trying to win their 12th consecutive game at home.
Old friend Brian Baker, who has been the Rays closer, actually coughed up a run in the 9th inning of that game. Tampa Bay came back and tied it. Saw Cedric Mullins with a home run last night and a couple of bunt hits.
I saw that.
Mullins having a tough year, just 179, but good to see Cedric have a good game yesterday. You know, Kobe almost tied the game, and then Jeremiah Jackson right behind him
almost tie the game. He flied out 397 feet or so to the wall in left center. Jacob Young made a phenomenal jumping catch against the wall. It's hard to know if anything would have been different had the Orioles come back to tie it. A one-run game when the Nats really got going.
Yeah, the Orioles got to figure out the early innings from an offensive standpoint and try to put some pressure earlier in ball games.
Strike three. This will be challenged by Jeremiah Jackson.
Pitch is called the strike. Batter's challenging.
Chris Conroy's strike zone is under perpetual review here late in the game. But that one is a strike.
Pitch is strike. Batter's out. Baltimore has no challenges left.
So that leaves the Orioles challenge list for the remainder of this game. Maverick Hanley will pinch hit now for Gunnar Henderson in a 10-run game. So Maverick, who has been on the roster for 3 days, is going to get his first at-bat of the year. Hanley's been on the roster as a third catcher here with Samuel Basayo DHing. And his knee may be a little bit banged up, but there's really not concern at this point over Basayo. But now it's officially a second year with a big league at-bat for Maverick Hanley, who's a very, very well-liked Oriole. Hanley has been with the team on the taxi squad for part of the year as well.
And
last season,
a lot last year, too.
Yes. Had 3 hits last year, 16 games.
All taxi squad first team the last 2 years.
Yes. That award should be given out. David Banuelos would have been the reigning champion of the taxi squad last year. So Hanley's only played in 6 minor league games this year because he spent so much time on the taxi squad. He strikes out here, and the Orioles are down to their final out of the game. 12 Ks for Washington pitching.
That struck out, what, 10 last night, 12 tonight, or today, I should say.
Here's Taylor Ward, who's got a couple of hits on the game. Starting to hit some more here, Taylor Ward. Not just reaching via walk. And Ward takes a strike with the Orioles down to their last out. Taylor's RBI single made it 4-3 in the 7th. And Ward lifts a fly ball to left center field here. Lyle will make the catch, and the Nationals take the series. They scored the final 9 runs, 7-run 7th, and a 2-run 9th in Washington with a 13-3 win as the first 2 here in the Beltway series. They're 7-1 against the O's the last 2 years, and Baltimore will look to salvage Game 3 tomorrow. Plenty to wrap up with Ben and with Melanie Newman. O's Extra Postgame is coming up.